how to stimulate your insular cortex. Now, why on earth would you want to stimulate your insular cortex? That's part of your brain, and it is strongly linked with emotions. So if you're stressed, if you're worried, if you are scared, if you have anxiety, potentially even if you have depression, it is something that you might want to stimulate because it is overstimulated or understimulated, depending on which kind of situation you find yourself in. So how do we do that? I'm just looking at a study on my computer, and it's stuff I've been taught, but I didn't really know why I got taught it in the past. And I've just been doing some of my own reading, and I found this study on basically how to stimulate it. So the thing I got taught to stimulate it was to stroke on the arms lightly. Okay. And what that does is that stimulates C-type nerve fibers. Okay, C-type nerve fibers. I don't want to get too technical here, but C-type nerve fibers, they are unmyelinated. So myelinated nerve fibers, they're going to do stuff like this. Okay, they're going to be moving my muscles. Okay, they're involved in my heart function. They're involved in kind of muscle contractions and getting my digestive system working. So that's myelinated. C-type are more to do with touch and temperature and sensitivity and all these kinds of things. So if you're in high amounts of pain, whether it be physical or emotional, stroking yourself gently. Okay, so you're not pressing, you're not giving it a big strong rub. Stroking yourself gently on your forearms will trigger a response in your insular cortex, which is kind of deep within your brain. It's around the thalamus. It's kind of in this central portion of your brain. Paul McKenna teaches this, okay, as a way of calming down, and he's probably looked at this study or similar studies and is teaching the same thing. Okay, so, and what we want to do, really, okay, you can do both arms at the same time. Okay, and this gets a cross-brain connection as well. So my left hand doing my right arm. So we need to think about this a little bit. So our brain works contralaterally. Okay, so my left hand is controlled by the right side of my brain, and my right hand is controlled by the left side of my brain. So by doing something that is stimulating both sides, so I'm stimulating with a motor pattern on my left arm is stimulating a sensory reception on my right arm. Okay, so I'm getting both sides of brain, just in slightly different regions, stimulated at the same time, and vice versa. So we've got motor slightly at the front, sensory slightly behind, and insular cortex from the nerve fibers that we are stimulating. So if you are stressed, worried, depressed, potentially this might work with autism spectrum disorders as well. You just need to calm down a little bit. Rubbing on here. Okay, you can do your upper arm if your upper arms are exposed. Probably works through clothes, but stick to skin. You can even do opposite sides of your face. Okay, but in the scientific study they used forearms. Okay, they even tested it with people watching a video of people having their arms stimulated and their skin stimulated in the same way, and guess what? It still works. So even just you watching me do this, stimming myself in the insular cortex, nice and gently, okay, on my arms. Why else is this also interesting? For me, it's, again, they go into it a bit in the study. It's about social interaction. Okay, so when we socially interact with people, we'll often get a touch, okay, and a light, nice, soft, gentle touch. Okay, so you meet a friend, they might stroke your arm, okay, they might stroke your shoulder, they might stroke your hip or your wrist, okay, depending on, your relationship with this person. Okay, it is a feeling of connection with society, okay, with a person that you like. Okay, obviously if someone is touching you that you don't like, you might get a bit of an ick reaction. So this is to do with friends and family. Okay, it's to do with our social interaction. So being part of a social group is very, very important to being a human. It reduces our anxiety levels, our stress levels, because if you are ostracized from a group, okay, i.e. your tribe, your risk of basically dying goes up. So if you don't have access to a person, if you don't have access to someone to give you a hug, you can kind of give yourself a hug, okay, by gently stimulating your own body. Okay, you don't need to do it across across your brain. Okay, you can just do it like this. Okay, just so right and right, left and left. Okay. It's hard to do that on your arms because you need to be like this. Okay, you can't do it. Okay, so you're doing it on your arms. Okay, you can do it on your legs. You can do it down your shins if you like. You can do it anywhere on your body, okay? But it's a soft and slow, okay? 3 centimeters per second is what they did in the trial. You don't need to measure out a 3 centimeter patch of skin on your arm and go, right, okay, I'm going to take 1 second and 1 second and 1 second and 1 second. You don't need to do that, okay? Don't worry about that. Just kind of get a feel for it. What feels right? This feels about right for me, okay? Maybe yours is slightly faster, maybe yours is slightly slower. Hey, whatever it is, find it. It works. Cool. Have a wonderful day.